Hello everyone, this is Laura Stewart, Director of Online Channel Events for SASMAX, and we're excited to get started today with our webinar, our snapshot webinar from the Compliancy Group, Achieve, Illustrate, and Maintain Compliance Simplified. I thank you everybody who is on the call today after the change in time that we had to do. We're excited to have you all here and we appreciate it. And I'm especially excited for this one because when I owned my MSP, I had a strong vertical in healthcare. And I wish that the Compliancy Group had been around when I owned my company because it would have made my life so much easier. A couple of housekeeping items for everybody. At the end of the webinar, we will be answering any questions that you have, so please use the question panel to type in any questions you have throughout the webinar, and then Joseph Macedo will be answering those questions at the end from Compliancy Group. And if you have any issues or other questions that you need to ask to me, you can also use the chat window, and I will be monitoring all those throughout. All right, let's get started with our webinar today. And of course we have an issue. I gotta love technology. Here we go. Okay, everybody. What we're going to start talking about is a little bit about SASMAX. Then you'll learn about the Compliancy Group and why clients buy from them. Compliancy Group's sales model, their pricing, commissions, incentives. We'll have a sample revenue calculator, which I thought was really cool, and then how to get started and register a deal with the Compliancy Group. A little bit about SASMAX. As you know, SASMAX is all about bringing you the best-in-class SaaS applications in the marketplace today, and we do it in a way that everything is in one place, because there's nothing worse than having to check 100 different websites to find out which are the top-line SaaS applications. You get it all in one place at sasmax.com. We facilitate personal introductions for you, and because we have such great reputations with our channel-friendly vendors, they also offer special discounts to you if you come in through the SASMAX portal. And you can now get your own white label SaaS WebStar with quote-to-cash systems and more. And it is free for you as a reseller. And now I'd like to present Joseph Macedo, the MSP Partner Channel Manager for Compliancy Group. And they have a special offer for anyone who watches this webinar of $500 off for our SASMAX resellers. Joseph, please take it away.
All right. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. And thank you all for taking some time this morning to learn how maybe to add something new and sticky to your already existing offering. We did an educational series on how to really better serve your clients as far as HIPAA goes and what your obligations are. So I'm going to touch upon some of this, but I'm really going to move a little fast and go into how we can make money together. So I'll start by going through who we are, what we do, and I'll be answering some questions at the end of this. So just a little bit about us to begin. We are Compliancy Group. We started in 2005. We were large-scale HIPAA auditors. What that means basically is we were auditing large entities throughout the country. We come from a background of HIPAA, so we really know it well. We're not a technology company that made a tool. We're a HIPAA experts that created a tool which we thought was needed in the market at the time. It's a web-based tool called the Guard, and I'm going to go through that really quickly and show you what we do, how we do it. But in the end, we really help you and your clients achieve, illustrate, and maintain full HIPAA compliance. A couple things we are very proud of is none of our clients have ever failed an audit. So we've been in over 250 audits with the government. Not one client has ever failed. So we are very proud of that. And we also are very proud that 100% of our clients would refer us to a friend. By no means, obviously, are we perfect, but we strive to be the very customer-centric, hold-your-hand type organization, which provides a lot of value for you and your clients as we really do the right thing. Okay. All right, and then again, obviously, we are subject matter leaders in the market. You'll find us all over the place, obviously, through SASMAX. They've been a great partner of ours. You go to many different channels, you will find us there. We are really the industry leaders when it comes to compliance as a service. So you are in the right place. If you're looking to do HIPAA compliance, this is the right avenue for you. So you are on the right call. Okay, so let's get into it. What do we do? How do we do it? And before we get into the money and you know how you guys are going to make money at this thing, let's go through really what an effective compliance program is and how Compliancy Group can help you. Okay, first of all, our process is a little different. We really involve coaching. We involve a HIPAA expert that'll work with you and your team, or one of your clients might assign a compliance officer to work with our coach. Our coach really is going to hold your hand or your client's hand and help them achieve compliance. Okay, they're not going to let them go until they fully have achieved compliance. After we help them achieve compliance, we're going to help them illustrate that. We have a nice seal of compliance that goes on your website. It's also a physical seal that goes in your office. We'll be able to proudly display that you are doing the right thing regarding HIPAA. There's no certification in the market, but we have a nice verification program. Obviously, we have all the reports necessary to prove your compliance in case the government ever does come at your front door. You want to be able to provide certain reports to them, and we have everything you need for that. Maintaining compliance, the tool is very unique. It is really one of a kind. It's like a QuickBooks, but for compliance. So in the end, once you set up your program, the tool, so not only working with the coach to develop your own HIPAA compliance solution, the tool itself is really what's going to maintain your compliance over time, and it's really going to alert you and your staff on when to do what. What the coach really does is he takes you through the 6 major audits. If you start at that pinwheel there that you see in the screen, what we do and what an effective compliance program is, remember, you must be doing this on an annual basis, year after year, where most people do fall off. As far as the audits, 6 major audits, the coach will take you through all 6 major audits. You're going to answer a series of questions, and basically we're going to identify the gaps in accordance with the law based on your answers to your questions. We're going to build remediation plans for the gaps. There's going to be some technology things where you guys as an MSP will get a separate project out of that. The rest is going to be soft side compliance. We'll help them build their policies, procedures, their training documents. We'll help their employees get trained on that. And we'll also help them with all their vendors. So a big part of the law, obviously, which includes you guys and why you might be on the call today or wanting to learn more about HIPAA, and obviously, or might have been on a previous call learning more about HIPAA, is you as a business associate need to be HIPAA compliant. So we are vetting out all the vendors associated with the covered entity and yourself to make sure that they're HIPAA compliant. We have all the business associate agreements to go along with that. And there's also an incident platform for your employees to, or your customers' employees to report a potential HIPAA incident, a breach, but that'll go internally. But in the end, it's a full solution, and we have everything you need to be HIPAA compliant. Okay, so how do we help you? What do we do? Is this really going to work for me? Well, obviously, the seal of compliance is something that I'll touch upon. It's something that's going to help you penetrate the market, right? So there's a lot of things going out there in the market regarding HIPAA. You know, it's all over the news. People are becoming worried. Patients are becoming more aware of HIPAA. Your vendors are becoming more aware of HIPAA. So it's important to illustrate you're doing the right thing. So we do provide you a nice seal of compliance that does just that. It's going to help you retain your existing clients, because remember, you do have to be HIPAA compliant in order to really do business with a covered entity. And a covered entity is somebody who deals with PHI, or for protected health information. If you're dealing with those type of clients, you need to be HIPAA compliant. So the seal is going to help you stay there. We're going to help you open new markets. If you're going up against another MSP with the, you know, let's face it, we all have the same similar type offerings. If we have the same similar type offering, but you have the seal of compliance trying to penetrate into the healthcare market, you're going to win that deal over another MSP hands down, because you're offering them a complete compliance and security package. Obviously, easier to sell and increase revenue and profit, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. And you get $500 off for just attending the webinar today. So welcome that, and that's a pretty good deal. Thanks, Laura. Okay, so as you guys can see, we educate the market a lot, right? We do a lot of educational series about where HIPAA is, where it is in the market, and you can see from that screen, $11.5 million plus already this year levied in fines. Okay, that's no small amount. You look at some of these amounts that people are being fined, they're pretty hefty amounts. Last year we saw the most HIPAA fines we've seen to date, over 24 million. So it looks like this year is pretty much on target to break that record. So that's it's something of why the market is sort of tumbling now, and they're concerned, and things need to happen regarding HIPAA. You need to make sure your compliance program's in place. This is no longer maybe you can get away with some things. This is really the time when you need to buckle down, do the right thing, and that's why many of you guys are on the call. And also, while other people are running out, you could be running into this market just by doing a few simple, basic housekeeping items on your back end. Obviously, there's plenty of opportunity in the market. We see there 3 to 5 million covered entities and business associates, so that the market's wide open. And with the government reporting 70+% are nowhere near compliance, we think that it's a great opportunity for you to penetrate that market, especially if you're doing the right thing. You have your seal. By all means, you will find new prospects. Okay, so the Guard that we went over, right? The Guard is our web-based tool that Compliancy Group offers. The Guard is a total solution. It's obviously you get HIPAA coaches, right, to coordinate and support through the entire process. So they're really working with you hand in hand. That's really what separates our organization from others. You'll find tools in the market that might help you with certain areas of compliance, but our coaching really sets us apart, builds a relationship with the end user, builds a relationship with you as the vendor, as the MSP. We really strive to do the right thing. So having those coaches in place is a huge part of what we do. So obviously, it's a full solution. We're going to go through all the audits, all the assessments, all your building remediation plans is such a big thing. We need to do that. People need to do it the right way. It's important to be able to document stuff the right way in case the government comes in for an audit, and we do all that. Every single thing, you don't need me to read all this stuff to you, but in the end, we're a full solution, and you get great value, obviously, by using the Guard. Okay, so let's go into pricing. So we know now the Guard is something that will, you as an MSP, make your life a lot easier. Who wants to get into the soft side of compliance with their clients? I mean, that's a high liability. Leave that up to us. We'll be the insurance company. We're going to take care of everything. You guys are going to get project work out of it. You guys are going to be able to resell our products. So that's where you'll make your money, and you're going to be providing, obviously, value for the client because you are providing this service to them in conjunction with your security service, which makes a total compliance and security solution. In the end, for the client, for this to be their insurance type policy, make sure they have what they need in case of an audit to avoid those hefty fines. A single location this is standard MSRP pricing for the end user, is $2,000 for the year or $200 a month. For the enterprise, which is a multiple location model, if you have a main location, that first location, your main location is $3,000 for the year or $300 a month, and then each additional location you have is $600 for the year or $60 a month. So we go by location, pretty fair pricing that we have in the market. Okay, so you guys looking at the screen, I just want to make sure it's not confusing to you all. It's, when you first look at it, it might be a little confusing. What this slide is basically saying is if you have 20 clients, if you have 10 clients in healthcare, where the highlighted blue region is down there on that screen, if you have 10 clients in healthcare with 20 employees each, so we're trying to point out a normal, smaller end practice, they have about 20 employees, you have 10 of those accounts, you do some in healthcare but not a lot, we're trying to tell you that we'll add close to $200,000 of gross profit in 1 year for you. So that's not bad, and I'm going to show you how we do that. And obviously, you could do the math on other amounts of clients that you might have or what you're looking to get into. But in the end, this provides tremendous value. So it's not just reselling our licenses. I'll show you how else you can make money as well using Compliancy Group. Okay, so there's two ways to play with us, right? It's to get this full solution to your customers, you could do one of two things. I strongly recommend to be a reseller because a reseller is somebody who's also going to be using our platform. Remember, part of the omnibus rule in 2013, you need to be HIPAA compliant, just like your client. So without using our program, if you've got something else and you think that you're compliant, that's fine. The problem is, as a referral, which you see there on the left, you are not using the Guard. You're not becoming compliant yourself. But if you pass a lead to us, it's a free program. we will pay you for passing a lead to us. So we'll give you 15% of the first year's billing. Now that's the kicker, it's the first year's billing. As a reseller, you're not only using our product, you are reselling the licenses, so you're making money off of that. You're also making money off the project that you're going to get, and you're also making money, obviously, with your other services that you're going to be ongoing. You'll be billing the client, so you're remaining very sticky with them. And this also, as a reseller, you get all of our sales and marketing support. We will help you on the referral side, but not as much as we do on the reseller. Reseller side, we really provide a lot of value, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, so a little bit about how you can make money adding compliance as a service. So let's take that $2,000 a month normal client that you have there on the left. He's got, let's say, 20 users at $100 a month, $2,000 for the year. That's pretty nice, right? Well, if you add a compliance as a service, you're now giving him a full compliance and security package, right? So now what you're doing is you're adding to the existing MSRP pricing. You're already getting a discount on the licenses. Now remember, end users do not see our MSRP pricing. They would have to go through a full sales process in order to do so. So you guys are able to margin this up as much as you feel necessary, as much as you think you're going to provide additional value for the client. Because yes, we are taking them through. We're going to help them become HIPAA compliant. But in the end, you're going to be bolting on some of your security offerings to give them the nice compliance and security package. So really, the new rate could be double, right? It could be $4,000 there. You're adding value to that, and you're also getting project work out of that as well. So that's the average project work on the bottom right that we see per remediation. So when we go through remediation items with the client, it's important to understand that Compliancy Group, we only do compliance, right? So we'll help them on the soft side stuff, but there's going to be physical, hardware, software, network type things that they have to fix, and we're going to give you the specific roadmap on what you need to fix to make them HIPAA compliant. So at least you know exactly where to start, what technology they need to put in to be HIPAA compliant, and then you can build your security offerings on top of that. Okay, so again, what separates us, so one of the things that separates us is the coaching. We're very good with the coaching. It's really what brings clients back to us. They have somebody to always talk to. They build relationships with our team. Very customer-centric over here. Okay, but the other thing we're known for is our sales and marketing exposure and help, if you want to call it that. So you're thinking you don't know much about HIPAA. That's fine. You don't have to know anything at all. If you just gain us interest, we are going to help you. All right. We become, as a reseller, if you are a reseller with us, we become part of your sales and marketing team. You don't have to learn anything to start. We want you to concentrate on your compliance and getting you up to speed. So if you have sales opportunities, the idea is we are going to be your sales team and your marketing team. So we'll provide all the sales material you need. We'll provide any kind of monthly webinars, anytime you want to throw us up on a call, talk to a prospect, we'll be glad to do so. And where we really shine is our Partner Central with all the marketing stuff inside the Partner Central. So we give you, whether we build you email campaigns or help build landing pages for your site, we're very close with our partners. We do the right thing. We have lots of material to throw out there. And we really fit well into this new mold of MSP that's really going to education, right? So HIPAA is one of those topics that clients do not need a product shoved down their throat to say, hey, this is what you need to do to be HIPAA compliant. It's more of, hey, we'll take a step back. Let's try to educate the base on what's going on. There's a lot of confusion in the market. So if you are one of those type of MSPs that really want to educate your clients, we have plenty of educational material to use, and that's actually our hook to sell. Is all done through education, not so much a product push, but through how we can just let them know that the things that they are doing that they think they are compliant, they really are not. That's how we sell, and we'll gladly give you the marketing material that we use ourselves to market. So you could feel that you have an extension of your team. We're a little different than most vendors. We have a very close relationship with our MSPs. And this is some of the material you'll be getting. If you log into our Partner Central, feel free to, you could pull this stuff out at any point. You could throw them into email campaigns. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, obviously. Webinar, checklist, webinar invitations, checklists, HIPAA checklists that we give out. There's banner ads you put on your site. There's proposals, obviously, HTML, email campaigns, all of this stuff will be incorporated. you get access to a lot of different material when working with Compliancy Group. Okay, so again, we are a total solution, right? Compliance as a service is one of those things that many MSPs are not offering today, something that can definitely get you into, let's say, a newer market of healthcare. If you weren't thinking about doing it before and now you're thinking about it, this is the way to do it. This is how you're going to get additional accounts. You're going to beat the other MSP because you have a true value that that client needs to satisfy that they cannot offer. Okay, so it's a total solution. Obviously, you get basically, if you wanted to take this thing and say, look, I am passing this to Compliancy Group. I'm going to resell the licenses. I want them to take the client through everything first before I even touch their network. You're more than welcome to do that. You're going to get project work out of that, right? And now you're also increasing your MSP services. Let's say it's an existing account and you have your existing services in there. Now you bolted on compliance as a service. Now you added additional revenue margins for your licenses for compliance as a service, but now you're also adding to your additional services. Why? Because now that they went through that project, they've added, let's say, a few more licenses of antivirus, secure messaging. They added a new firewall. You have to do a couple more spot checks for them. So that now is going to increase your additional managed service offerings that you were normally offering them anyway. So everything sort of goes up with this thing. It's an overall encompassing solution. And we feel, obviously, the benefit is you're going to make money, all right? So there's a lot of ways to make money with this thing, and we know MSPs, one of the pain points now, again, is going in the market, whether it's prospecting or if you're sitting back waiting for referrals. Obviously, you could be having a successful business, but this is just going to make you so much more successful, especially if you're thinking about doing it in healthcare. I can't think of a better way to get more leads and do the right thing. Oh, and did I also mention, as far as leads go, obviously, we also pass you leads. We have something called the HIPAA Alliance, which puts technologies in front of our direct customers who sometimes we sell outside of the channel. So they might need help. They get to their remediation items, and one of the things that comes up is they're not working with a HIPAA-compliant MSP. So we're going to make a recommendation that they use one of our partners who has a seal of compliance, and that could be you with a new client and new services that you're offering them. So great way to get leads, great way to penetrate the new market, and we feel like we are a badass solution. Sorry. Okay, so with today, thank you guys for joining us. As SaaSmax partners, you sign up today, you would get $500 off. You're offering to be a reseller, so kind of a cool deal. It was already pretty cost effective to begin with, so I definitely appreciate the time by everybody at SaaSmax. Laura's great. And we really look forward to seeing you guys there. Again, just look for us on the channel. We're all over the place now. And if you really need me, there's my contact information, joseph@compliancygroup.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions or take some time out of my day to answer your questions or give you a nice background of our product and how we can help you. So thank you, everybody.
And you're awesome at doing demos of your product and everything as well, Joseph. So. So I highly recommend if those that are listening today, if you're interested in doing something, to reach out to Joseph and scheduling a demo, because it really answers a lot of questions just going through the demo of the product. Joseph, a question has come in, and I love this question. How is compliance different from security?
Oh, wonderful question. We get that a lot, and if I don't get asked that question during a demo, I feel sort of obligated to say something about that. All right, it's basically one of the driving points, misunderstandings, and if you had our other webinar, if you were on, anybody was on for the other webinar, they would have got a nice picture of the difference between compliance and security. When I'm doing this, I will explain it nicely to your client as well. So there's a big misunderstanding in the market between compliance and security. Security is really the risk or mitigating the risk of a breach potentially affecting your network. So let's say somebody gets it's unauthorized access, comes through technology. The government says about 95% of HIPAA breaches obviously come through some form of technology. Okay, so the main idea is you have to have a series of things in place to prevent the breach from happening. But on the other side, compliance, that's where the fines come from. All right, so you must have an effective compliance program in order to avoid a fine. So just because you're using software, hardware, and network type applications that are HIPAA compliant, that does not make you HIPAA compliant. You need to have a series of things like we looked at during this webinar with that pinwheel, a series of things you must be doing on an ongoing basis, because no matter how the breach happened, the government's going to fine you for not having an effective compliance program. So it's important to have your back end and your front end up to speed. That's why a total compliance and security solution is really the right way to address HIPAA.
Okay, so that leads, it's a perfect lead into another question that someone has asked is, the HIPAA law is changing, right? There's constant refinements to different things that are happening. How does Compliancy Group help with the newer interpretations of law?
Great question, and that's really why people, I guess, would want to partner with us. It's one of the big reasons is we become that insurance policy, right? One of our mottos, obviously, is let us simplify compliance so you can focus on your business. We are the compliancy experts. You don't have to worry about that. When the law changes, we will actually alert our customers that the law has changed. We will let you know that maybe you have to change some language in your policies, procedures, or training documents, and you might have to actually get your employees retrained on those documents. But it makes it a lot easier when you have somebody looking out for you, like we do here. We always, obviously, we're HIPAA experts. We watch the law. We know what to put in. If the law changes, and it does change on a yearly basis. Where a lot of people mess up is they have those policies, procedures, and training. They would have attained HIPAA compliance year 1, but now it's year 3. There's been a couple changes in the law. They did not add that stuff into their documentation, and when the government comes in for an audit, they see that there wasn't added the additional stuff for the new requirements, and they see they haven't been reviewed. So that's why that's a cause for actually a fine. So it's very important, just because you achieve compliance year 1, if you're not maintaining it, you don't have an effective compliance program.
Okay. Another question, are you a channel-only company?
Great question. We are not. We also sell direct. If it ever comes to the time when we feel like we would want to do only channel, that is going to be a decision that we'll be making, when that time comes. Right now, we sell direct and we sell through the channel. Now, I think a lot of our MSPs, they love us selling direct only because they know they're getting leads. The market is so prime right now. Think about any of the other MSPs that you all might know right now. How many do you believe after watching something like this that they are fully HIPAA compliant? They're probably not. All right, so the idea is every direct lead that we get or direct sale that we get would turn into a lead for you guys, because they need to work with somebody who's HIPAA compliant. So you're going to get leads based on our sales.
In this particular industry, I think that's really great that you're not just channel, because it puts it out there and creates the education. But I know that Compliancy Group is so focused on the channel and growing the channel and creating that, and it's rare. So we appreciate that, your commitment to the channel.
We love the channel. We love working with IT vendors, and again, I think the biggest thing is we fit in well with that new message. Like you hit it on the head, Laura, just doing educational type stuff. Get away from product. You want to talk, and it's such a thing that goes hand in hand with cybersecurity, right? So security is such a hot item now. So hand in hand, cybersecurity and compliance. You can make sure your client has a rock solid cybersecurity and compliance program at the same time.
Okay. Can a referral person upgrade to a reseller?
Of course. Yep. So as a referral, you are free. There's no obligation from us. You just sign a document. Basically says that you authorize yourself to get paid by us. So you could sign up for free, pass us some leads. If you feel like it's going well for some of your clients, you want to join up, we will definitely add you as a reseller. Yep. So you didn't pay anything as a referral. So you can definitely move into being a reseller.
Do the clients that you brought on board as a referral move with you to reseller?
Yes, of course. So what happens is you sign up a couple clients. Well, if I'm an MSP and I start as a referral with us, I sign up a couple clients. The only tricky part is it comes up to the part, and I'm going to be honest about this, is when it comes up to business associate management, it's going to come up to the part where you're the MSP for that client, but you're not HIPAA compliant, right? So you have to make a decision at that point, because technically our recommendation, if you're not doing the right things by HIPAA, we really can't recommend you to stay on the account. Obviously, we're not going to push you off the account, but we're going to say, we have to stay with the rule is. So that's when, most people want to test the waters. They'll throw a couple accounts on this thing. They see it goes really well, and then they're going to start their compliance program when it gets up to the point where they hear that they definitely need to be HIPAA compliant at that point to keep that other account.
Great. Another question has come in. What is the typical sales cycle from your experience?
Okay, so typical sales cycle is pretty fast. I have to say, it's not one of these things as an MSP. So my whole role here is to help you guys sell and market. I was an account manager for over 10 years in New York City dealing with law firms. You can imagine how difficult and long, drawn-out sales process that would be. This is nothing like that. I think a lot of people, once they are willing to make the commitment to learn more about HIPAA and their compliance program, they're already committed to doing the right thing. So it becomes a very quick sales cycle. I think, within 2 weeks, you usually have a sale. And that's because they just made their mind up that they wanted to do the right thing. I think some other times when you go in, sell other services, they mull it over, they want to wait on it. I find a very high turnaround with compliance. It's just getting them to come out. So we hound them. I shouldn't say hound. We send them emails, educational stuff. Eventually, maybe 2 or 3 weeks they won't answer, but then the 4th week they'll answer. And then after that 4th week, I guarantee you we're going to close it within the 6th week. So pretty fast sales cycle.
Perfect. And I also want to mention to everybody on the webinar that a couple of weeks ago, and you can find it on wisesas.com up on our blog, the folks at Compliancy Group, Mark Haskelson, did an hour webinar on compliance versus security on HIPAA. It was purely educational. There was no sales involved with it. There was nothing about anything other than to educate those resellers involved with SASMAX or wanting to be involved with SASMAX about the opportunity that is HIPAA. And that was such a fantastic webinar. I just want to make sure everybody knows to go out to wisesas.com and look up the HIPAA webinar. It takes what Joseph has just talked about and gives you all that educational background. So if you're considering doing and working with the healthcare market, or if you already are and you're not certain if you are HIPAA compliant, I think that webinar will give you that background that you may need. What do you think, Joseph?
Yeah, I think that's a good lead-in. And again, there's a lot of stuff maybe we didn't cover today. I just wanted to point out how you guys could work with us. If it's something that strikes your interest, I'd be glad to go over really in depth of what your obligations are as far as being compliant. And there are a lot of other misunderstandings in the market. And I'll give you some pointers if you want to contact me on how maybe you could approach some of your clients to see if maybe this is the right fit for you. If you get some interest, which I'm sure you will, it might be something you really want to look into. So I'm more than willing to help you with that. Great.
Well, we have a couple of upcoming snapshots and events coming up. ISV IQ Live at the Santa Ana Orange County Airport. We have another snapshot on phishing attacks with iron scales, and our Cybersecurity Channel Roadshow, those of you in Dallas or who want to go to Dallas, that's on March 15th. Remember, don't leave money on the table. Become a SASMAX reseller and meet even more incredible vendors like Joseph Macedo at Compliancy Group. And I want to thank everybody for being here today. Joseph, thanks for doing an amazing snapshot webinar on Compliancy Group and the Guard.
Thank you, Laura. You're amazing as always, and thank you to the SASMAX team for allowing us some time today. SASMAX has been great to us, and really is a very interesting thing. If you really want to get out there and meet new people, get new ideas, and really connect with the market, SASMAX is the way to go, so it's highly recommended.
Everybody have a great day. If you have any other questions, just reach out to us, and we're happy to connect you to Joseph, answer any other questions that you may have. Have a great day, everyone.